Pirates' corner, Chad Jackson, joined by head men's basketball coach Jeremy Luther to talk about the Pirates' opening action in the 2010-2011 season. And Coach Luther, you're 3-2. You've had a couple of very good wins, but a couple of tough losses. Let's give us some overall impressions about the first 5 games that you've played this year.
Yeah, we opened up with Wingate, opening game, and had a good win there. Wingate's a team that has come back with the same kids they had last year, and they've gotten a lot better. Picked to do really well in their league, so it was going to be a tough opening game for us, and we got a good win, had a big lead in the second half, and kind of gave it up a little bit towards the end. But due to that game right there, we didn't know this, but Chris Van Landingham broke his forearm 3 days prior to that game, so that was a loss for us. But that's why you have 12, 13 players on the team. That's why you go out and recruit. And so we've done a really good job without one of our best players in the lineup from that point on. So we opened up with Wingate, had a really good win there at home. Then we went on the road for a classic down at Valdosta State. Played Southern Wesleyan in the first game with a brand new lineup without Chris being in there, and Stephen Davis hasn't been in there either. So went down there, had a good win against Southern Wesleyan and beat them 15 or 16. And then the next night out, probably the biggest win of the year for us. Again, with our full complement of players, we beat a very good Valdosta team at their place. And pretty much had them, handled them any which way we wanted to. We were up 26-28 in the second half on them. So that was a big confidence booster for us. And when I made the schedule, the Valdosta State game, and then the Florida Southern game, and then the Augusta State game, you're looking at nationally ranked opponents back to back to back. I did that for a reason, kind of see where we were going to be at as far as a team and a unit, because I knew we had a chance to be pretty good, but we were new players, trying to bring everybody together and want to test them early. So Valdosta State was a great test for us. We passed that test. Had a week off for Thanksgiving. Came back and went down to the preseason number 5 team in the country at their place. And I didn't know this before. I didn't realize I hadn't lost in 2 years prior, to us going down. Aiken got them before us. But so we go down there, and our kids again came out and played extremely well in a tough environment down in Lakeland, and came away with a 1-point loss. Had our chances down the stretch, but the kids fought. We were down early, fought back, took a 6-point lead in the second half. And then they had 2 free throws with 9 seconds left, and we had a really good look, actually 2 good looks at the rim, and just unfortunate we couldn't put the basket in. So, and then we came back and played the 18th ranked team on Saturday afternoon, and didn't have a great showing. Obviously, if fans were there, they saw that. We came out, and basically what I told the team yesterday is they came out and punched us in the mouth, kind of like we did to Valdosta State, and we didn't respond very well. They took a pretty big lead in the first half, and they just coasted out to a victory there in the second half. So it's kind of a step back for us, but we knew those 3 games would be a test. If I had to, take an overview of those 3 games, you're not there for moral victories, but I think we passed not having our full lineup out there, and being able to beat a really good team, play another one really good on the road, and then Valdosta State. Augusta was a tough one for us, but we're going to rebound. And I still think we have a chance to be really good.
All right, can you give us an update on Chris Van Landingham
Yes.
as well as Stephen Davis?
Yes, Stephen Davis is done for the year. He had the microfracture. He's a very talented kid, very athletic. We were counting on him, but he did have the microfracture surgery done on his knee. So we're going to go ahead and apply for a medical red shirt for him. Chris did break his forearm, and I guess it's bad coaching, but he broke it on a Thursday. I didn't believe him, so to speak. So he practiced on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, played against Wingate on Monday.
Scored 12 points.
Yeah, with a broken forearm, and scored 12 points, and then had it x-rayed, and it was broken. So he was in a cast for about 3 weeks. He just got the cast off last Friday, the day before we played Augusta. And he's doing some rehab to hope to get back to practice by Monday. going into our first of our tournament games. And Chris is a kid we're counting on big time. He's a very well-established, solid player in this league, and one of our best players going into the season. So it's going to be a great addition to have him back in our lineup.
Now you have 2 holiday tournaments coming up. We have the Fall Finals Classic on the 17th and 18th.
Right.
Then after Christmas, you have the New Year's tournament. Talk a little bit about the fields for those tournament and what do you expect to see from those tournaments?
Right. We coming off those 3 games that I had scheduled early, the ones we had just talked about, I want to give us a little bit of a breather. Now, I don't like to say it's a breather because at this level, anybody can beat you on any given night. We got Hiawassee, Valdosta State, and Bruton Parker coming in. And obviously, we'll play Hiawassee and Bruton Parker, and that's the same lineup or schedule that Valdosta will play too. Hiawassee is struggling this year a little bit. They've played almost every team in our league and haven't had a lot of success. But we also have 2 weeks off, and I want to make sure with these 2 weeks off here with exams, and exams finish next Tuesday, you want to come out of the exams with a little bit of success, plus after losing to Augusta like we did. So hopefully that's a great tune-up. The second night, Bruton Parker is actually going to be pretty good. They got 2 really talented transfers, a kid from Georgia State and a kid from FAU. And those 2 kids could start on any team in the Peach Belt. The FAU kid was an all-Sun Belt player. He was freshman of the year in that league. He's a 6'6", very athletic wing, and the point guard was a solid kid I looked at when I was an assistant at Mercer, and he played on the really good South Gwinnett team with Lewis Williams and Mike Mercer. Those guys are in the NBA now. He was the third to that group and had a really good career, just didn't quite get the grade. So they're at Bruton Parker, so that's going to be a really good test for us to come out and play in a game that where there's going to be kids that can match up against us. And then we'll give them their 7-8 days off, which I don't like, but it's the NCAA rule now. From the 19th to the 26th, we'll let them off for Christmas break. Bring them back and only have a day and a half to get ready. For our second tournament is going to be really good. We got Georgia College coming in. We got St. Augustine coming in, who won 28 games last year, like 28-4 was a national tournament team. And then Barton College coming in, who won a national championship 2 years ago. And Barton's kind of unique because they took their best player last year, who was an All-American, sat him out for just no apparent reason, because I think they had a bunch of young kids. They wanted him to go out on a high, so they sat him out and brought him back this year because now they get more experience. So they're a really good team. I think they've only lost once up until this point. So that's going to be a great test for us too. So 2 really good teams, and then we'll get in the Peach Belt play.
All right, Armstrong Atlantic hosts the Hampton Inn Suites Fall Finals Classic. The Pirates play Hiawassee at 8 o'clock on Friday the 17th, and then we'll take on Bruton Parker at 8 o'clock on Saturday, and you can follow all those games live on ASUPirates.com. Coach Luther, thanks for spending some time with us, and we'll talk to you after the break.
Thank you.